In Bastogne, you and the 101st fought off the Germans for 5 days, correct?
5 days and 5 nights. And we never had anything, we never had any ammunition, we never had any food. We didn't need water because we had all kinds of snow, but
No armor.
it was a slugfest. When we got there and knew where our defense perimeters had to be set up, we had to use our bayonets to break through the ground. It was so frozen.
Yeah.
And then when you throw the dirt out, naturally, on top of the snow, you got a problem. So then when we got our foxholes dug, and we dug them deep, 2-man foxholes, we dug them deep. Then we had to go back out and throw all that snow outside on top of that dirt that we had thrown out there. Digging those foxholes so the Germans couldn't see it.
Yeah.
So for 5 days, you fought off the Germans. And how do you credit that kind of success?
All that training we got, and paratroopers are tough, believe me. I'm sure we lost a lot of men just because they wanted to show how tough they was. You know, that's something I never could understand. The Marines have got a fabulous reputation, but in all that I have talked to about the Marines and read about them, they lost a lot of men that they didn't need to lose because somebody had to show how tough they was. That was kind of the situation there where we was. Everybody was dug in very, very well. We had plenty of time to dig in. We had 2 days.
Yeah.
We dug in real well. Our fortifications was great. But we didn't have any heavy weapons because we had hiked miles and miles and miles ahead. You couldn't carry heavy weapons.
No.
We had a hell of a time even carrying our machine guns. And that's all we had.
Yeah.
And so after 5 days, you were rescued. You had
What
reinforcements.
happened after 5 days was Eisenhower, when they took a look at this thing, he got a hold of Patton, and Patton turned around the 4th Armored Division, which was just flying across France. They were still fighting in France. He got a hold of the 4th Armored Division, and they sent the 4th Armored Division up there, and they broke through the line and relieved us. And the general in charge of the 4th Armored, he come right into Bastonge and shook hands with our general.
Yeah.
We relieved because it's still fighting for a couple of days after that, for it all come to a head.
So did you move on from Bastogne to anywhere else?
Yes, they relieved us for a couple of days. We rested and tried to get our senses to us. And then we went right back to fighting, and we fought all the way out of Belgium up into the corner of France, and we was where did everyone? Mormelon was the name of the town where we finally fought up to Mormelon, and they captured a great big. It was an old French tank barracks. I mean, there must have been 40 or 50 doors going into that building. That's where they took their tanks to repair them and take care of them.
Yeah.
Well, it never had no heat, but it was better than outside. And we stayed there for 2 or 3 days, and then they pulled us out and said, "Sick 'em." So we fought again for a while, and then eventually they got us all together and loaded us in trucks and took us to well, it's where Hitler's mountain retreat was, up in the mountains.
Oh.
Berchtesgaden.
Oh.
Berchtesgaden.
Sorry.
They took us up there, and we all formed up and started up that long, windy road. 10,000 feet up in the mountains, or Hitler's mountain home was, and they was sure that that's where he was, and he would be guarded by not Gestapo, but SS troops. So I guess that's one of the reasons why they picked the 101st Airborne. But we only got about halfway up that damn thing, and I mean, it was steep. I was sure glad that somebody come whipping up the road behind us in a Jeep with a big flag whipping on guys, hey guys, you don't have to go. Hitler's dead. Hitler's dead. They found him dead in Berlin. Oh,
Very good.
really?
Oh,
I'd rather fought them damn Germans than I would hike up that damn road. Oh, there's
Yeah.
something else.
no doubt.
I got pictures of that, and you cannot believe how steep it was.
Oh,
And when they went up there with cars and trucks, buses, one bus went so far, and then they had a great big round place. He pulled out and parked, and they changed people and put them in another bus. And he had geared. It was geared lower. It had gears to where, because it was so steep that the regular bus couldn't get up. And slave labor had built that road to that mountain retreat.
Jewish labor, I'm guessing.
yeah.
Concentration
labor.
camp. My goodness, so they were going to send you up to get Hitler.
Yeah.
Wow.
And when they first put this all together, they was just positive that the SS would have him completely surrounded. You know, we'd had to fight off the SS to get to him, but we would have done it. And that would have been a mess. Oh,
Yeah.
that would have been a mess.
So during the Battle of the Bulge, did you see any hand-to-hand combat?
No. Well, that's one thing about Europe. There was very, very little hand-to-hand combat. Once in a while, in a town, if you were trying to capture a town, there would be some hand-to-hand combat, but ordinarily not.
I'm surprised.
No, it was all at long range, and that was a good thing for us because we had the Germans outgunned. We had that M1 Garand, which would fire 8 bullets, just ping, 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 one right after the other. Now, it wasn't automatic. You had to pull the trigger on every shell. But the Germans had bolt-action Mausers.
Yeah.
They were slower.
Every shot they had to fire, pull a bolt out, pull one out and put one in. Hell,
Oh.
we could shoot 8 while they were shooting 3.
They had to, yeah, one at a time.
Yeah, we had them outgunned, thank
Yeah.
heavens. So that's why there was very little,
Wow.
if any. I don't even know of any hand-to-hand combat.
Did you ever come face to face with any Germans?
Yes, I did.
What was that like?
It wasn't good. We was cleaning out a town. Another time, we was cleaning out this town, and we was going from door to door, and the roads over there are all cobblestone in those little towns. In the little towns, everything was cobblestone. And in the big towns, of course, there's a lot of cement and asphalt. But we'd go, and the doors all set back in. Instead of being level with the house, they would sit back in. I don't know why, but they were. Just enough that you could squeeze up in there and kind of hide from the side. But we was working our way through this town, and I got up into this town, and I saw somebody, quite a ways away. Gosh, he had to be 200-300 yards. He'd come out and darted right back in, so I knew that he was up there. And I was leading the squad. That's when I became a sergeant. I was leading the squad. And in the paratroopers, we don't call them squads. We call them stick. I've got an 11-man stick behind me. Anyway, when I got real close, I watched him real careful. And here I was going this way, and I'm right-handed, so I had to carry my rifle over here in this hand. And I got up, and when I got to where I thought he was at, I thought, well, maybe he's gone through the door and gone into the other side, but I had my guys coming around back to make sure they didn't. Well, here he darted out of there and started down the street, and he had his rifle in his left hand and running like hell, and I pulled up and shot him, and it shot him right through the hip. And down he went, and that rifle went sliding across the cobblestones. And I'll be damned if he didn't get up and crawl. He crawled to try to get to that rifle. So I had no alternative. I had to shoot him.
Yeah.
Shot him in the back, through the back of the head.
Oh.
But
Yeah.
I didn't want him to get that rifle because, it might cause some problems.
Yeah.
entire 101st Airborne and the entire 82nd Airborne was there, but they was all older than I was. You know, I was probably one of the youngest men in the 101st Airborne because I went in when I was 17,
Yeah.
and they had all, you know, a lot of the airborne units were units that was infantry units, and they just took the whole unit and made airborne units out of them.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of them was older guys that had been in for quite some time.
And you were just
And I
a
went
baby.
in as a replacement.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. See, all us guys after training that we did, well, we went in as replacements.
Oh, I see, okay. So they needed to rotate some people
Yeah.
in to, okay,
Yeah, we were all replacements.
all right.
But do you realize what a big deal you are?
Well, to us you are, because you help, you know, save
Save our bacon.
our country.
Well, you know what? That deal down there last Monday, that sure made me feel good.
Yeah,
Makes you feel like it was all worthwhile.
yeah.
It wasn't all in vain.